Hello, 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 hello. This is Marshall Goldsmith. Welcome to LinkedIn Live. So excited today. A couple of my favorite people in the whole world are here. I'm going to briefly introduce myself, then kick it over to my wonderful friend, Sanyin, and then we'll introduce our great guests. I'm Marshall from Kentucky, went to school in Indiana, got a PhD at UCLA, college professor and dean. And for 43 years, I traveled about the world giving talks or teaching classes, which I just love. I coach executives. I've been a coach of some of the most great leaders in history. And one of the greatest people I've ever coached, Hubert Joly, is on this call. So honored to work with people. And call we did previously with Dr. Jim Kim, another just great human being. So I'm very, very blessed. In theory, I'm supposed to teach these people. In practice, I learn way, way more from them than they ever learned from me. So very, very lucky. And then I write books and articles. So I've written or edited 41 books and 3 bestsellers. And the thing I'm most excited about now is a project called 100 Coaches. Really trying to develop honorary great relationships with people that are making a difference in the world. And the goal is we all just try to help each other. And there's one price. Other people try to help you and you just try to give back to others. And so we have 2 people on call today who I think are just spectacular role models of that. Now, getting started, first of the day's session is called Leading with Humanity. And these are 2 people that help leaders produce great business results, yet also are role models for leading with humanity, with purpose, alignment. Again, along with being great at what they do, they're just great human beings. So I think very, very honored to be with them today. And then my comrade, Sanyin. Sanyin, I used to be the #1 co-chair in the whole wide world, but now I'm in what's called the Hall of Fame. That's where they put the used to be #1 coaches. The new #1 coach in the great big world is Sanyin, my comrade. Sanyin, briefly introduce yourself and we'll kick it over to Hubert and Hortense.
Marsha, I've learned so much from you. Hi, everyone. I'm Sanyin Siang. I help leaders and their organizations be more resilient and also reimagine a new future. And I work with CEOs, military generals, tech founders. I am a professor at Duke University, where I'm also the executive director of Duke University's Coach K Center on Leadership and Ethics at the Fuqua School of Business. And very much looking forward to today's session.
Thank you. Now we're going to introduce our 2 wonderful guests. Our first guest is Hortense Le Gentil. Hortense is a wonderful human being. She's author of a great book called Aligned, a book I love. She's a great leadership coach. She's one of the top coaches in Europe and now in the world, I can say. And she's also coaching at Harvard. She works with top leaders and she helps people connect to their true self. So very honored to have her with us today. And our other guest is my good friend, Hubert Joly. Hubert had the privilege to work with him as a coach. He's the CEO of Best Buy. Now he's executive chairman. Before that, he was at the Carlson Company. He's coaching and working at Harvard Business School now. And he's going to write a book about the heart of business. And he's on 3 boards, at Ralph Lauren, and Johnson & Johnson, and maybe something else, but I can't remember. It doesn't matter. I did pretty good. Now, let's see. So, Sanyin, why don't we kick it off? Why don't you, and by the way, we're all friends here. We're all buddies here. So this is all a friendly club. Why don't you kick this off and ask a good question to Hortense?
So, Hortense, I know you work with executives in France and in the US. And right now we're all facing unprecedented challenges. What's the first piece of advice that you give your clients?
Thank you for asking, Sanyin. Very happy to be here with you, my friends. Um, when you are in the plane and in time of turbulence and you need oxygen, you take the mask and you put the mask on your face first. So the first thing I said is take care of yourself. So how you do that? Clarify who you want to be, what kind of leader you want to be. In 10 years from now, what do you want people to remember about you, about this time? This is very important to define. So clarify what kind of leader you want to be. You can do that with a coach, with a partner, with a spiritual leader, whatever. But it's very important to go back to yourself and answer this question. The second thing is on daily basis, meet yourself. So schedule a meeting with yourself. And every morning, define your priorities. What is important today? What I'm going to do? And at the end of the day, with our daily question, did I do my best to do what you decide in the morning? So, for example, did I do my best to communicate with my board? Did I do my best to communicate with my teams? To listen to this person in my team that lost his father? And because now more than ever, you don't differentiate professional to personal, because we are all in the same, at home. So did you do my best to, take care of my kids, or listen to my kids, or spend time with my kids, spend time with my spouse, sorry. And and the last thing is refuel. So you have clarify what kind of leader you want to be, define your daily priorities, check at the end of the day, and refuel. Okay, exercise is good, but not enough. You have, give a break to your brain. Take at least 10 minutes per day to be with yourself, to be at the present moment. So you can, listen to music, meditate, whatever. But it's very important to at least 10 minutes. 10 minutes is nothing. But this is what I recommend.
Oh, that's so beautiful, because it's ultimately understanding who you are and who do you want to be, and then having every strategy and tactic in your day and life aligned with that. Thank you so much, Hortense. Back to you, Marshall.
Thank you.
My good friend, you're talking about leading with purpose and humility. Now, why is that so important in today's time?
I think we are living an extraordinary time, Marshall, where there's so many examples of inspiring leaders. If I step back, it was last year in August 2019 that the Business Roundtable came out with the statement on corporate purpose, really challenging Milton Friedman's focus on the primacy of shareholders, and saying that every business is pursuing a noble purpose and has to take care of all of its stakeholders. And during this time of crisis, I think you're seeing multiple leaders putting shareholders, I think when Jeff Bezos announced his earnings for Q1, he asked the shareholders to take a seat as he's taking care of employees and customers. So you're seeing so many examples of leaders being focused on their employees, the safety of their employees and their customers, but it's going beyond that. I think what we're seeing is leaders focusing on the whole person and the needs, not just safety or physiological needs, but emotional needs, needs for truth, needs for meaning. So let me give you examples. So there's a lot of communication of these leaders, not by email, but by video, as Hortense would say, to maintain eye contact and be authentic leaders. Tell the employees what we know, what we don't know, and when we're hoping to know what we don't know now. You're seeing leaders doing happy hours or office hours where they're available to everybody around the world, whether it's Shanghai, Berlin, or Paris, or Singapore. And it's interesting, with digital technology, they're able to be more accessible than they were before. They're also trying to connect the activities with a sense of meaning. So at Best Buy, for example, my wonderful successor, Corey Barry, she's not in the business of selling TVs or computers. Although if you want to buy one, we'll be happy to sell this to you. She's in the business, Best Buy is in the business of enriching lives through technology. Well, with everybody working from home now, or learning from home, living at home, being able to provide to customers the essential elements of an effective home office, so computers, networking, the refrigerator for the family, maybe the video games for the kids. So this is not just about serving customers, this is helping them live a better life. And you're going to do this, again, by being focused on the customer experience and the employee experience. So that meant, in our case, she decided early on to actually close the stores. Best Buy has been considered an essential business by most of the states, but she decided to close the stores and then move to curbside pickup. And now the employees are continuing to serve the customers. She's been able to maintain 70% of the business she had before. So again, these are examples of leading with purpose and humanity. And I think this is a refoundation of business and capitalism around these principles. And we'll be able to say, I think when we look back, when we look at these leaders, this will be their finest hour in many, many ways.
I love what you're doing, and I think it's so important today, the human side of business, because one thing, death brings out the humanity in all of us, and realizing we're all mortal and all that. Hubert and Hortense is next is for both of you. It wasn't on my prepared list of questions, so I'm not being structured too much. I have a question for both of you. Now, you two are doing something I totally support. That is working together to coach people. And Sanyin and I have done this before, and I love working with Sanyin because, well, I'm not going to bias your answers. I think it's a fantastic idea, and I can mention this. You just started working with one of our other good friends, Tony Marks, who's head of the New York Public Library. You're not only doing this in a for-profit way, you're also doing it for nonprofits, which I think is fantastic. I want to start with Hortense. Hortense, what's it been like to work with a partner when you do coaching?
This is great. This is great because it gives another dimension. So, and as a coach and a former entrepreneurs myself, I have my way, and I am focusing on the unleash, your inner power as a human. And working with Hubert is great because we are playing, and we try to give our best to our clients. And it's very interesting to have the two point of view with the client. I think it's very exciting. I love it.
Very good. Very good. Hubert, what's it been like for you?
If I want to build on what Hortense was saying, and Marshall, you've helped me so much with that. I like to say that in Marshall's infomercials, I'm either the before or the after picture, one of the two. In the old days, so last century, the leadership model was all about being smart. You took smart people, come up with a great strategy, an implementation plan, you roll this out, put incentives in place, and you hope that people follow and comply with the strategy. Today, in the 21st century, the leadership model is completely different. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about creating an environment in which others can be successful. It's about unleashing what I call human magic. And I think what Hortense and I are trying to bring to our clients when we work together is a combination and integration of business mentoring and coaching and human mentoring and coaching. What the leaders today have to be able to do is extraordinary. They need to connect with the employees, they need to connect with the customers, they need to partner with their suppliers, they need to connect with society, they need to communicate with shareholders. And the requirements for this are so much, so different from what it was, again, a few years ago. And so we have, we offer this integration of approaches, and hopefully it's helpful. We're learning a lot, like you did from our clients, and we'll evolve our model as we move forward.
I really think this is the future of coaching. And for example, you're working with our friend Tony right now, which thank you so much for doing this good deed, because what he's doing is very important. He's trying to help poor children poor people throughout the city. He's not using this as anything for status or getting ahead. He's just got a good heart, and you're trying to help him, which I think is good for him, good for you. I'm trying to help him. Sanyin, I think one thing that we've learned working together and with others is this isn't a contest. This isn't a smart coach contest. It's a help clients contest. And why wouldn't you try to involve multiple people like Tony? I've worked with Tony before, Sanyin, you could work with Tony. And none of us have too much love and too much help here. So the idea of let's work together and help each other as coaches, as opposed to, oh, this is my client and, being possessive and all that. I think it's just a very, very healthy and positive idea. So I love what you guys are doing. Sanyin, you had another good question for us.
If I may, Marshall, there's a very important idea in what you're saying, which is, again, an idea from the 20th century was zero-sum games. If you win, I lose. Or if I lose, you win. No, we can all win. If we can create opportunities. And if you share an idea with me, you still have it and I have it. And so we're richer for this. So this is a world where we have to focus on winning together and creating opportunities that are win-win-win. So thank you for providing these opportunities to so many others, Marshall.
It's a collaborative world. I mean, in a complex world where we're dealing with complex problems, it can't be just one single individual. It has to be about teams. And what Marshall and I have learned in working together and coaching together is part of what we do as coaches is we help eliminate blind spots, right? And having multiple perspectives on what those blind spots might be, that can only help the leader be even better at what they do. So
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Good question for Hortense from you, Sanyin.
Well, Hortense, so we've been talking about humanity. What are some of the qualities that you see needed in leaders for the new world? Because, the old world is gone. COVID has accelerated change. So there's no returning back to normal. It's about going forward to the next normal. So what are some of the great leadership qualities that you think are going to be essential for success in the next normal?
Yeah. So just like you said, and Hubert said, and so gone are the days for superhero CEOs. So now I think the leader of today and tomorrow has to be first human. So we are talking about humanity, but a human. So create an environment where others can evolve. Take care of your people. Take care of the person you're working with. Second is able to develop a sense of purpose. So inspire to align the purpose of the company with the purpose of the individual. So this is very important. The leader has to be agile. So we can see that in 1 week, the world change, and you have to react and be agile to do that. Resilient, I think it's very important because survive through this crisis and continue, be able to continue after the crisis. Visionary, I will say, strike a right balance between left balance, the rational with the vision, with the emotional side. So it's very important. So really be balanced between both of them. So human, able to develop sense of purpose, agile, resilient, and strike between left and right brain. I think they are very important.
Yeah, I mean, this entire sense of bringing our whole selves to work, that was a trend we were on, means something so much deeper today when our work and home lives are now deeply intertwined. I mean, we've seen that on Zoom. We're seeing into our homes and our children and the beautiful chaos of our individual lives, and we're seeing each other as human beings. So why won't we show up as human beings? I love everything that you and Hubert are saying about leadership going forward. It's inspiring.
Thank you. And when I used to say before, You know, when you live, before, you know, the old time, when you live home, you don't separate yourself from, you know, the person. You don't cut yourself in two, you know, and let, you know, the person at home and the other, you know, go to work. So and now it's just a proof. You know, you need to be exactly the same at home, and you do the same at home at work, and especially right now where we are all in the same place.
And it's very interesting to build on this. So this crisis, you know, it's not just going to be a few weeks. This is going to be several months, several quarters, and we go through phases. So we've had the shelter-in-place phase, and now we're getting close to reopening. And so one of the questions that companies are asking themselves is, when and to what extent do I bring people back to the office? One of the things I'm finding is that companies need to develop a very deep understanding of their employee base in ways that we never imagined. So we need to know what percentage, you know, which one of our employees, let's say, are above 60 and maybe at risk. Which ones of our employees don't have enough space or the right infrastructure to be able to work from home. And so they may be a priority to be brought back to the office. Which ones of our employees prefer, you know, to work alone because they're more quiet, they're more maybe introverts, but which ones of our employees need actually the human interaction and only thrive if they can, you know, discuss at the cafeteria? Which ones of our employees are suffering from mental health and need this support? And it's harder to know, you know, if you don't see them and so forth. So as we think about this reopening phase, we're going to need to have this deeper understanding. And as we continue to move forward, another thought maybe, as we get closer to the post-COVID phase, so we have a vaccine and, you know, the disease is gone. So unfortunately, many companies, many businesses are going to be in a context where demand has gone down because of the economy. And so they run the risk of being smaller, less profitable companies, which is no fun. You know, life is about growth. So how do we grow? I think one of the things that these purposeful leaders that are driven by, you know, the human side of things will want to do is go back to, you know, what is their individual purpose? What is the purpose of their leadership team, their employees? What is the purpose of their companies? So that they can uncover new business opportunities. To illustrate the point, at Best Buy, after we were done with the turnaround, we tried to think about how can we grow this company, and we said, all right, our purpose is to enrich lives through technology by addressing key human needs. A human need is, of course, health, as we know today, and that has led us at Best Buy to go into the health space, helping aging seniors live longer in their home independently with the help of technologies. So we put sensors, maybe under their bed, in their bathroom, in their kitchen, detect falls so that we can detect whether something bad is happening to them. And through artificial intelligence and the intervention of our care center agents, trigger an intervention. We would never have thought about going into this business, you know, if we had thought about Best Buy as being an electronics retailer. But if you're focused on purpose, then you can unlock growth and unleash human magic in support of serving that purpose. So this big idea that Hortense and I are so passionate about, which is leading with purpose and humanity, is going to serve leaders so importantly as we go through these different phases, I think.
Well, I'm very sensitive to both of your times. So, Hortense, one final comment, which can't take over about 30 seconds from you.
Okay. Be the best version of yourself. Stay aligned.
I love it. I love your book. Stay aligned, be the best version of yourself. And finally, I just want to say thanks to everybody. Thank you, Sanyin, for being my sidekick on these wonderful programs. Thank you to Hubert and Hortense, two wonderful human beings. And,
Thank
you know, I'd like to have both of you come back and do another one because these go so quickly. I'd like to talk about the concept of reinventing yourself because both of you are reinventing yourself. You're in different cities than you used to be. You're in some cases a different country than you used to be, doing different work than you used to be doing, reinventing yourself. So I would love to have both of you come back again and talk to us. Finally, again, my honor to know both of you. I think you're wonderful human beings. Aside from doing great professional work, Hortense a great coach, Hubert a great coach and leader, you're just great human beings. So thank you so much. My honor to know both of you and hope to have you back on the show. So thank you very much. Hey.
you, Marshall.